Welcome to La Vida Las Vegas podcast. We're two physical therapists living the life in Las Vegas. I'm Dr. Erica.
And I'm Dr. Joe. We created this podcast for two reasons. First, to connect the healthcare, wellness, and fitness communities in Las Vegas. And second, to highlight all the amazing people we've met along the way.
Thank you for listening, and remember to take care of yourself.
So welcome to the show. If you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Thank you. My name is Christina. I'm the only Lagree studio. I own Studio Remix in Henderson. It is the only Lagree Method studio with the patented Megaformer M3S.
So what's Lagree?
That is a great question. So I invited Dr. Erica to come and try it out for herself because, quite frankly, words don't really describe the workout very well. It's muscle strengthening and endurance time under tension, and those words typically mean nothing to people. It's something that you have to feel. It is high intensity, low impact, like I said, muscle building. So if any of those words mean anything to somebody, maybe you can describe it. What was your experience with it?
I'll have to describe it as an experience because, like Christina mentioned, it's definitely something that you can be in all walks of fitness, sports, whatever your level is, that's going to be something that you just challenge yourself and know that there are certain ranges of motion that you probably might not have the best strength in. So it's definitely an experience. I think if you haven't tried it, you should have a class and try out and check it out in Henderson.
Yes, we have a saying called embrace the shake. And the reason we say that is because you're literally using so much of your muscle in such a slow, again, time under tension, such a slow, drawn-out pace, your whole body ends up tremoring. And that's actually what we're striving for. That's how I know you're working. Your body's just tremoring. And it feels uncomfortable. It's almost, you want to stop it, like, well, what am I doing wrong? But that is the intention, to get those slow twitch muscle fibers, like, activating, and we don't use them enough. We don't work them enough just because everybody wants to go fast and get it over with. Totally understand that because our workouts are 45 minutes.
But it's appropriate for all ages, all different fitness levels. Like if someone's a beginner, then they can come in and try it.
Absolutely. And the reason why is just because everything is so slow. We encourage slow. So the slower you are, the more you're going to get out of it, the better it is for you. So regardless of your fitness level, you can be the strongest guy to elderly woman fighting arthritis. It doesn't matter because I just tell you to go slower and it's even better both ways. Win-win.
So what made you get interested in that method, and like what made you decide to even own a studio? That's a big jump from just participating in a class to owning something.
Well, and that's the effect it kind of has. So when you try your first workout, it's so intense and those endorphins are just firing away. You want more. It's almost instant. Typically after your first workout, it's like, wow, that was horrible. Can I do this again? Can I come tomorrow? And that's usually what we get. Me, myself, I am a activity junkie. I collect hobbies for a hobby. So the more I can learn, if I find out something, there's a new method that I've never heard of, oh gosh, I need to learn this. I need to try this. Just because you never know, that might be your thing. You never know. So I heard about Lagree. I was in Pilates training for my PMA, and I tried it, and it was amazing. And now I need to know more. So I took the course. And I have a lot of certifications, but I just want to learn more about what I'm doing. So it's not necessarily that I intended to be a coach or an instructor. I just wanted to learn more about how I can be better in the sport or the discipline. So when I took the instructor course, I learned more about the method, and it just made sense. It's for everybody, and it is so good for any sport, it's like the perfect complement for anything. So from there, became the instructor, started teaching, started loving that. And then an opportunity just kind of fell in my lap to take the studio. And it was like, like Disneyland. I'm excited to go to work every day and see these happy people working so hard. They work so hard. Oh my gosh. Those people that come there, it's like I can't program anything hard enough for them. They want more, and I love it.
Well, I note too that you practice, a lot of different movements. And you're a Pilates instructor. You've done personal training. You've taught a lot of different classes. You CrossFit, you do archery. So I'd say, like, from a background, you have a lot of different things that you do throughout your movement right now. So what is it about, like, the differences maybe in some of the movements that you practice, and explain a little bit more about that?
That's loaded.
It is.
Boy. Well, out of everything I do, I think that Lagree is probably the most mental challenging, just because you really need to focus on balance, breathing. So Pilates is a lot of that too. Body control, mind over muscle, mind over body movement. You're really encompassing everything you have. And it's for a long duration. So Lagree takes that Pilates methodology. So Joseph Pilates, very smart man. He was well ahead of his time. Nobody recognized his method until years after his death, sadly. However, now in comes Sebastian Lagree, who's like, this is a fantastic method, but now I'm going to add some muscle building to it. So we're going to lengthen out these movements. We're going to control them, and we're going to stay under tension just that much longer. And it becomes like a more intense version of that original method. So for the people that love Pilates, like me, I love Pilates, but need that intensity, that's where that fits perfectly. Now, take CrossFit. CrossFit's pretty intense. And you can make it as intense as you want. And that's definitely muscle building, definitely stimulating both for the mind and the body. But it's not let's face it, people do get injured. It does happen. These are quick movements. It's over. It's done. It's like rip that Band-Aid off, get that 1 rep max, and we're good. Lagree's different. You're in it for 45 minutes. There's no rest. There's no break. It's constant. The amount of mental challenge that goes into keeping your body in those positions and keeping that tension and holding that, it's like nothing I've ever felt in my life. So obviously, this is my thing now. It is hard.
So Erica's already done a class, and I'll be doing one soon with some of the other guys from the gym.
So excited for that.
Be fun. Maybe we'll record that and play it on the podcast. We'll see.
Oh. We should actually do a video. That's a good idea.
That would be pretty good. So what brought you to Vegas?
I'm going to go with the weather. And the reason why I say that is because I'm an activity junkie. I love the outdoors. I love the heat. If I can, go on a strenuous hike in January and not worry about snow, that's a good day. So really, Vegas allows you to do just about anything you want. Anything you want is here. We talked a little bit about fencing. There's fencing here. Anything you can think of is here. They have a beautiful archery range, gorgeous mountains. There's biking, there's hiking, there's climbing. I mean, Vegas has everything you want. So really, for somebody like me with my outdoor ADD, it fits perfectly.
You mentioned archery, so that's something that you do as well. How'd you get into that?
Just like everything else, I heard about it, I looked at it, and I said, I want to do this. And I started working with Alana, who, these names probably don't mean anything to anybody, but Alana Wright is a world champion archer. She lives in San Diego. And when I was in the military and stuck around San Diego for a while, I got to know her. So you got to train from the best, right? I mean, if you want to learn something, find somebody equally passionate to kind of teach you and get you into it. She taught me how to shoot a bare bow, so I actually do not shoot compound because I feel like that's cheating. So my bow has no bells or whistles. It's plain, it's simple, just like me. So I really, really loved it, and it just became like a passion for me. It became my Zen place. I would want to go out shooting, get lost outside somewhere, and it was a nice release for me.
So you just randomly choose like a hike and then just set up and just bring your boat with you? Is that what
All
you
the
do?
time.
Yeah.
All the time. I had somebody tell me that I need to have some type of a like Instagram or something like that shows all my adventures, because I would load up the car, all my dogs, and we just pick a direction. This literally would be my every weekend. Just pick a direction, follow the road, find some little, towns, little cafes, and find some dirt roads to go explore. And I found some cool stuff. And Nevada's perfect for that, because how many little, like, tiny towns off of dirt roads do we have? We have tons, and they're all awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Have you, like, actually hunted or, like, done something with your archery? Or is it's strictly, like, target?
I don't anymore. I have. We do have I don't know if he's there anymore. This was years and years ago. There's a butcher in North Las Vegas that will help you with your, we're going to call them catches, because I don't want to use the KILL word and trigger somebody. But a lot of the equipment that I had, so we use arm guards in archery that protects from the pull of the string and pinching on your arms. So I used to make arm guards with my rabbit pelts that I would catch. And we all know we have a huge rabbit population out here, so it's never an issue. I was a trail master, actually. I worked with BLM on Mount Charleston. I used to bring kids out to the mountain, and we would show them different things, show them about the animals and trails and stuff like that. So everything I did was in partnership with BLM.
Oh, cool.
So is a trail master a guide?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would do cleanups. Unfortunately, we have just a ton of graffiti on Mount Charleston. Anybody that would take Mary Jane Trail would see just how bad it is. So we would do counts of how many people would visit. We would do cleanups, trash, and then we would take kids or locals just out on trails just to teach them what we have and teach them about hiking in general. I cannot tell you how many people try to hike Mary Jane with no water and flip-flops. I don't really know where that's coming from, but it happens. It's odd.
I think it's called no research. Like people just, this hike looks good, and then they don't see how far it is or how hot it gets, and then then they have trouble. And water is necessary.
Have trail masters.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And people have water here in their car, and they're just going from air conditioned place to air conditioned place. So I can't imagine not bringing water and being outside for more than 30 minutes in the summertime.
And it happens, and then they get stranded at the top because they don't realize that just because it's a mile or 2 miles, they don't realize it's actually straight up, and it's in the desert still. You are still in the desert.
Yeah.
And the higher you go, the harder it is to breathe.
Isn't that
fact.
weird?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I have to bring up this story just because this happened to me today. So when you are driving, typically you'll see like birds flying, or like little pigeons will get out of the way. A pigeon ran into my car today and hit me. I was like, that's insane. Don't they normally just like, they scoot, like they're like, get to the closest point as possible. Like, all right, now I'm gonna leave. It hit my car. I was very
They're not very
surprised.
smart.
That was insane.
So don't they compare pigeons to like rats with wings or something like that? I think I've heard
Probably.
that.
I think it's also because they're not considered the cleanest of birds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not something that people brag about eating.
No.
Only I do.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe that pigeon just thought, I think I can take this car.
It's possible. I wouldn't put it past a pigeon. Again, they're not very bright.
Oh, man. So you have an extensive background of things that you've done. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about your maybe previous careers?
Yeah. I mean, there is zero special about me. I am as plain and simple as you could possibly get. But I really, really, really enjoy helping people. So anything I can do to try to meet that service, that need to serve, I was in the Navy. I was a police officer. I was a personal trainer. All those things, it seems, like they're very different. They're all very similar as far as like helping people and wanting to do things that mean something. It was a long part of my life that I've met some amazing people. I've gone to some amazing people, and I've had some top-notch training. I feel like a better human from all the things that I've experienced. So, and now in fitness, I feel like lead by example. I can use my experience and everything that I do and I love to like project that, kind of like what we were talking about, making people happy and having people just find happiness in their lives. It's there. It's all around you. Like, like when you were a kid and you got that present and you ended up playing with the box and making the box a fort. Everything's amazing when you're a kid. And I feel like you kind of lose that as an adult. And in my experience, just seeing both the good and the bad, military and police-wise, there are a lot of bad things, but, there are a lot of good things out there, too. I did some humanitarian efforts with the Navy in Africa. Saw a lot of bad things. But the fact that we were there and we were partnering with some volunteer organizations, you almost see the two extremes. You see the very, very bad, but you also realize that you're there with some really, really good. And it's kind of cool to experience both sides so that you don't forget that just because there's a lot of bad, there's a lot of good. So I'm going to say that's the biggest thing that I took out of all those different jobs. So even though those jobs were very different, they were the same. It's always dealing with people and, trying to stay positive and carry it with you, I guess.
I feel like a lot of things are like that too, where people will think that some things are drastically different. But if you're dealing with people, you're dealing with people no matter what setting or wherever you are. The environment might change, but people still learn very similar from what they're doing. They still make very similar decisions. Personality types are the same for a lot of different jobs. I mean, you'll get a mix of things, obviously, but if you can learn how to interact with people at one job, odds are that'll translate somewhat to some other jobs that you've had too.
Oh, hopefully. I mean, if you let it.
Yeah.
People downplay some of their careers or some of their experiences, and it's like, if you have experience with people, that's huge. That's a big deal, because people kind of what it's all about. And I feel that when I'm teaching, when I'm connecting with people, that's my happy place. I'm so happy to be at the studio every day. It's like I'm not working. I'm having fun. I'm playing. I'm creating new challenging workouts for people, and it's so exciting. And Lagree makes it very easy to do that. So I absolutely love the method just because it is so intense but fun, and you aren't restricted with the kinds of things you can do to help people. So some days we're working on just posture. Some days we're working on balance. Some days, and it's all challenging, but you really would not do the same workout twice, ever. Years and years. We've had people, the studio's been open since 2014. And I can tell you, the people that have been there since 2014 never have experienced the same workout. They're constantly challenged and love it. And that just makes me happier. It makes me want to give them more.
What your recommendation for going to classes? How often should you go?
That's a great question. And that's one of the number one questions they get when people come in. And it depends on you. I'm a believer in all fitness. Whatever makes you feel good, I love it. You want to do Pilates? Great. You want to do CrossFit? Great. You want to do Lagree? Great. You want to do all three? Awesome. So depending on what your lifestyle is, so if you are an athlete that already has a sport, we get a ton of cirque performers. We get a ton of tennis players. They're just looking for that extra edge without worrying about injury or, any tears, pulls, anything like that, because it's so safe being low impact the way that it is. So it pairs really well with any sport. So if you have a sport, something you're doing every day, you may only need Lagree once a week. Horrible business model, but at the same time, I just want people to be happy. If that one day a week gets you further into your sport that you're already doing, you just made my day. That's fantastic. So it just depends on the person. If Lagree is all you want to do, we have plenty of people that come every day. I think they're superheroes and rock stars, and they're a level of human that is impressive to me, because I don't know that I can maintain that every single day. Me personally, that's a lot. That's a lot, which you know because you've experienced it.
And when you go through like the different classes, is it different for each instructor? Is the instructor, all the instructors are doing the same class, or how does that work?
All of our instructors are unique and amazing. So they all create their own program, and it's based on what they know. Again, Lagree allows you to be creative and fun, let your personality out. We have a master trainer, Monica. He goes by Momo. He's an aerialist, and he's probably the most beautiful human I've ever seen, both in personality and his movements. So he teaches in a very choreographed way that flows really well with music. He's beautiful and he's theatrical and it's a lot of fun. So a lot of our folks like to go to him because of that beautiful dance and all those movements that he does. We also have another instructor that is, he has a spin background, and that's Shannon. Shannon is such a professional. He has been doing this so long, he could teach with his eyes closed. It's awesome. He gives his folks, and he's got a huge following. All of these instructors have full classes. So hard to get in with them because they have their people that just love them so much, and it really shows how awesome they are when they're instructing. So his classes are just fun. He's just fun. It's so intense you don't even know that it's happening to you because it's so fun. We've got Pilates instructors too. I have a lady named Hillary who is a dance instructor, Pilates instructor from years. Again, she could teach with her eyes closed. She comes because it's fun for her. She has so much fun. She throws in classical Pilates in with the movements, and she just has such a beautiful way of instructing. And then me, I'm all about functional fitness, and what do you do? So you play tennis. So let's think about balance. Let's try to focus on posture, balance, alignment, things like that. So I would say my technique is a little bit more technical. So yes, I really encourage our instructors to let their personalities come out, and it's been very beneficial. I think everybody's having fun. The instructor's having fun. The clients are having fun. And again, that's what it's all about, finding the fitness that you love and enjoying yourself when you come in every day. Every day you're smiling. That's win right there.
How many different instructors do you have there?
Oh, so I have 6. Yeah.
It's a pretty fair amount. Probably a lot of difference in personalities for sure.
And it's all wonderful. And everybody's so different. It's great. And they all come from different backgrounds. Obviously, I'm a CrossFit background. I've got a Cirque background, Pilates background, spin. It just shows what an impact Lagree has on people. You can still have your sport. We encourage you to have your sport. What I used to love about CrossFit, now I've been doing CrossFit for let's give away my age, over 10 years now. So it's been a really, really long time. What I loved about CrossFit is it's functional movements for everything, and they encourage you to go do other things. So me and my ADDness, I'm like, woohoo, I can do this and do everything as well. Yay. Lagree is the same way. It wants you to go out and use your fitness. What good is fitness if you're just sitting around? I guess for some folks that like to take those selfies, that's fine. I think that using that fitness and finding all the cool things in the world, that's where it's at right there. I'm going to be the 90-year-old woman that's, snowboarding past you waving with my hot chocolate. That's what I want anyways. I want to still be enjoying all these things, well into my later years.
And that's a really good point. A lot of people spend a really long time building this engine, and then they never drive the car. So they'll spend tons of time in the gym, but then they don't go hiking or do any other things. So my goal is just to not be the slowest person while we're hiking or whatever it is that we're doing. That's what I want. But that's a really good point. I think a lot of people don't think of that. They think of the working out phase or the training phase as the most important thing. It is, but if you never spend time doing that.
And it's unique to everybody. I would never, whatever your goal is, hey, if you just want to look good in that bikini, I am there for you and I will make that happen for you. That bikini is going to be slamming and that's absolutely fine. Everybody's different and that's also part of the appeal, I think, about being in the fitness industry is you have that unique opportunity to give that person their goal. Now, if it's like me and like you, we want to use our fitness, we want to drive that car that we've worked so hard on. Some people just want to go to the car show. Look at that paint job. Look at them rims. Damn, hey, that's awesome too. I'm totally okay with that. But whatever helps you enjoy life. Again, I want people to be excited like that 5-year-old playing with that box sport. That's really the best thing for me.
So what's one activity, since you are so active, that you have not tried yet that you really want to try?
So next is fencing. I'm really excited about this. We actually have somebody, so I go to Nevada Fit Concepts on St. Rose. Love that gym. The instructors there are amazing, great coaching, and just a great group of people. One of those folks actually does fencing, and we were talking about it a little bit because pre-COVID, that was next on my list. So it just looks so graceful and so cool, and I don't know anything about it. So I'm triggered, and I need to learn. So that's next.
I love that.
You find yourself, too, when you see those topics that you pour everything into it, and you're like, okay, I need to watch every YouTube video that exists on this right now.
Yes, correct. I go down that rabbit hole all the time. If you tell me a word that I don't know, now I have to go look it up so that I can understand what it is. And yeah, it's that ADD, squirrel. What else is there? What else can I learn? And lucky for me, we have the internet. So I can dive into that rabbit hole for hours and hours, learn everything I can. And then now I feel, okay, now I know what this is. Now we can move on to the next activity.
And what's really crazy, at least to me, is that YouTube is so selective with the rabbit holes that it shows you based on whatever you've looked at because they want your attention. So they're going to keep showing you things like, oh, you like cat videos at 10 o'clock at night? Here's a bunch of cat videos. Mm-hmm. They're going to keep showing you those things. But every once in a while, you'll learn about a new topic, and you look up maybe 3 videos on it, and then all of a sudden, there's this whole other world of videos on YouTube that you're now getting shown. Like I was looking at radio stuff the other day, and now tons of radio stuff is showing up all the time. Like, oh, you need to learn this.
Thank you,
need
big
to learn
brother.
This. Yeah, exactly.
Your toaster is listening.
But but then it makes me wonder what else is out there that I have not pursued yet or that I have not learned or gotten into.
Well, I'm going to go back to fitness on that one. So here's the thing about that is the more activities you do and the more people you meet, the more you find out that you needed to find out that you didn't know that you wanted to find out about.
Right. Yeah.
Aha.
Have you ever been paddleboarding?
Oh, yeah. We have season passes over at Lake Las Vegas.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me.
I know. Shocking.
Okay, so how do you balance all of the activities?
Prioritize. If you look at my calendar, it looks like, have you ever seen like a kindergarten school at the end of the day after the kids are like done playing? Okay, so it looks like that in my calendar. It's organized to me, but anybody else looking at it would be like, whoa, what is happening here? I schedule my lunchtime. I schedule my showers. I schedule everything. So it's just a matter of prioritizing and using every available hour of the day. I schedule my sleep to make sure I sleep, and the rest of it is just got like at least 18 workable hours in this day. How can I use those 18 hours? And making sure that, what you need is in there. My husband and I still have date nights. We always schedule our date night. We always pick activities, try to go to new restaurants, try to do new things. And it's all a matter of scheduling.
What kind of date nights have you guys done recently that you've enjoyed?
Oh, COVID has made it a little bit boring, but we still try to, it's anything from, I think our favorite thing to do, and this is going to sound funny because both of us are outdoor people, we like Dave & Buster's. So we'll pick a restaurant somewhere around, because there's a lot of restaurants right in Summerlin, and we'll pick a new restaurant, and then we'll hit up Dave & Buster's. We have those little power cards. At this point, we can probably buy everything in that gift store area, like anything.
Even the finger puppets?
Oh, my God. Yeah, throw those in too. That'd be fine. So we used to do this thing where we would have a bunch of restaurants. We would write down all the restaurants. He would write down 10. I would write down 10. We would cut them out and put them in a box. So every Thursday night we would shuffle, pick one, and that's where we're going that night, just to make sure we're trying new things. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys have this. The biggest argument is always where to have dinner.
I just say, it doesn't really matter to me.
That's exactly. Nobody cares, right? It's like, I don't know, you pick. I don't know, you pick. It's like, oh my God. And that could go on for like an hour, to the point where it's like, what do we do?
Cereal.
So we tried that, and then we tried that with activities too. So we would throw activities in the bucket too. We would do anything from going outside shooting, like outdoor target shooting, to bingo. Which, by the way, bingo is actually kind of fun.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. The older ladies did not like it the time that I won 3 times, because I'm new, and they were like growling at me, like over their troll dolls and stuff. Like, you're new. You shouldn't be winning this.
I feel like that can get pretty aggressive, the bingo out here.
Yes. Those daubers started to get like a little more fierce every time. I would be like, bingo.
Is this a casino or retirement home that you're playing at?
This would be Red Rock, so both.
Oh, okay.
Both.
Yeah.
Because you'd see the same, we would go like maybe once every couple of months, and I'll be damned, Marge is still there, and it's the same, setup that she always has. And okay, that's awesome.
I love that. That's a great idea.
That's the same type of person probably that's going to like put the food from the buffet in their rollator when they walk out.
Well, they have those big purses, so you don't really know what's in there, and nobody's going to check them at the door, because do you really want to go in there? Do you? No.
So I worked at a clinic before that had like some older people that were coming in there as patients, and they told me that was a thing, that some of the buffets would actually like check their rollator when they're leaving, because people would pack some food in there.
Wow.
When they're leaving, yeah.
That's awesome.
No, I'm just leaving with my walker. The thing's got that big old basket underneath, though.
It's like a big
Couple
ass
steaks
chicken.
in there.
You
Yeah.
get a whole rotisserie chicken.
Damn, score.
So speaking of food, what's your favorite cheat meal?
Oh, sushi. Oyashi sushi. I've been going there for years. That is my jam. You'll never get a no from me if that's where you want to go. My hubby goes shooting with, he's got a bestie that they go shooting on Sundays. The rule is, if you're going to go have sushi after you go shooting, you will call me. I will not be happy if I find out that you have gone to sushi without me. That is not acceptable.
And there's a lot of different places that have sushi out here, too. We've talked about that with some other guests before, but there's over 100, I think. It's some ridiculous amount.
And that's absolutely fine. I will only go to Oyashi. I don't know what magic they have to have both all you can eat and the high quality. So whenever we have people come into town, if you've never visited us before in Las Vegas, and I don't care if you're at the Strip, or I don't care where you are going to eat sushi with me at Oyashi. And I always get that same every single time. They're like, this is really good quality. Oh my God, this is melting in my mouth. This is delicious. Yes, I know that. That's why we're here. It is amazing.
Which location?
I'm partial to the one on Rainbow. The one on Sahara is absolutely fine. It's just a little out of the way. But if I'm north, then that's where I'm going. That's fine.
So during the break, we're talking, and you made a really good comment. You said that Vegas is the fittest capital of the world, or of the U.S. So explain that.
So when we talked about why I came to Las Vegas, and it was because of all the activities and everything that it offers, going down that rabbit hole, learning about Las Vegas and knowing what's out here. I mean, we have athletes and performers. People come from all over the world. And to me, I think that's amazing. So like you were saying, CrossFit, we've got the third fittest woman, in the world here.
She's the fittest American woman.
American?
Too.
Okay.
Yep.
But look at our circ performers. We've got people that right now, and I was just talking to Adam, the trainer here at Culmination North. We've got people that are coming from all over just for a chance to possibly be noticed and be able to be a part of one of our shows. Performers from China, Russia, just all over the world. And what's interesting, so one of my trainers, Monica, the one that's the aerialist, he's from Arizona, and he has more talent in like a hair on his body than I have in my whole being. So he tells me that when he goes to the training center, he's surrounded by every different language you could possibly imagine, with talents that are just mind-blowing. And they're all here, not because they were invited, not because they had an audition lined up, just a chance to show their stuff, because this is the stage. Las Vegas is the stage. Las Vegas is the hub for MMA. We've got so many amazing MMA gyms. I was fortunate enough to be a part of Syndicate before they had moved locations, and just seeing the athletes coming in there to train, seeing what they were producing, even down to their kids program. By the way, Syndicate has like the best kids program. I've never seen anything like it. And the camaraderie that the kids have, the instructors that they have there is just... they do a really, really good job. But we've got cyclists that come here to train. We've got world famous rock climbers that come here to train. We're where it's at when it comes to fitness, activity. I mean, there is no other place I could see myself being, as odd as I am in my activity collection.
So where's the performance center that he trains at?
ARC. I'm trying. I haven't been there personally, but I'm not a Cirque person, so I don't know the location. I want to say Rainbow, but then I feel like everything's off of Rainbow. It's off the 215 and Rainbow. This is like a general area. But
if I don't know where something is, that's why I just tell people. It's probably
it's probably near the Rainbow or 215 area, somewhere over there. But yes, there's a couple of Cirque centers. I know there was one that was doing like intro classes for kids and stuff like that. But again, there's so much out here. You just have to go down that rabbit hole of the internet, or even Groupon. Go to Groupon activities for Las Vegas. There's stuff you had no idea exists here. And that's part of what I like to show people what's out here so that you can find your thing. Find your thing. Find your fitness, find your thing, get out of the house, get the kids, go do stuff. I got to tell you, I have some amazing friends that are parents that these kids are like the luckiest kids in the entire world. They're constantly exploring and going places and doing things. I find that amazing. And then I think to myself, where else would you be doing this? Really, we have everything. And yes, we don't have ocean. We don't have water. However, 4 hours away, there is an ocean. 4 hours away in the other direction, you have snow. We're really very centralized to anything you can possibly think of. Vegas is just the best.
It is. I love it.
What's something that you commonly see in your practice that you wish more people knew?
Ooh. Well, the benefit of it, I guess. So Lagree is not well known here. It was developed in California. It is well known in California. Sebastian Lagree himself is actually world renowned. But if you say his name, for whatever reason, it hasn't reached Vegas, which is odd to me because we're such a fit capital. I feel like we're the hub. So that's interesting. When I have people dropping in from other states, they are always amazed. They love the studio. They're like, wow, you guys are Lagree to the core. This is real Lagree right here. And they're like, so are you alone? Because it took forever to find you. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is the Lagree studio here. Whereas in LA, it's like McDonald's. There's one on every corner. And Sebastian's a big name. He works with a lot of like celebrities and all that stuff, just because his method is so good for creating long, lean, strong muscle. It's perfect for like actresses, models, things like that. People that don't want to necessarily, bulk up or whatever. And they have to stay safe. So again, circ performers tend to gravitate towards our method because it's very safe. They don't have to worry about not being able to perform the next day. They don't have to worry about tearing something, pulling something, hurting something, because you just go slower. Like I said, it's so friendly to every single body. It's something that I feel like as more people learn about it, more people will see the benefits of it, and you'll just see athletes just start skyrocketing in their abilities, and their athletic prowess is just gonna, which I love. I'm very excited when I see people getting better in like their sports or profession, when they tell me, oh, I just won this match, or oh, I just got this audition, or I need more Lagree, and then that makes me feel good. So
that's awesome. What's something you've learned and you wish you knew sooner?
Well, that's a good question, because I feel like if I want to learn something, I learn it. I wish CrossFit was around when I was a kid. I was already, so CrossFit's been around since what, 2000?
I think it's probably more mainstream then, but I think it might have started in the 90s.
Okay. Because I was in the military then. So I joined in 1996, and we didn't have that back then, but boy, I wish we did. I see these younger kids, Haley Adams, oh my God. I mean, she's so young. She has nowhere to go but up. That amazes me. Some of the kids that I see in some of these gyms in the Kids Fit, wow. So I think, boy, I wish I would have had this available to me when I was younger. I'd be pretty strong. And I think that would have probably helped me in my military and my police career, although I did use a lot of the method when I was trained. I trained a lot of our recruits in our academies because functional fitness, I truly believe that part of being a good cop and being able to assist your partners, assist people, just being the best role model you can be starts with fitness. So I used a lot of that CrossFit method when I would train. So yeah, I guess having that earlier in life would have been nice. But once I found it, I never let it go. I feel the same way about Lagree. I found it, took me a day. Just like you, it was like one little introductory class, and I was like, oh, God, okay, this is it. I need more of this. It was the same with CrossFit. I found it in, so Carlsbad CrossFit was my first gym, my first box. Rick Gonzalez, I just called them on the phone, and I was like, what is CrossFit? I have never heard of this. This is like 2010. And they had just expanded their box from the little closet that everybody starts with, and then they got this big space. And he was like, yeah, I can't explain that to you. You're just going to have to come in. And that was how that conversation went. And I went and loved it and never looked back. CrossFit's been with me for that long. And kind of the same with Lagree. I tried to do research on it. I tried to find, like, give me a video. What is this? What are you doing? What's the movement? And all you see on the video is some guy that's like moving at a, dead snail pace into a lunge. And you're like, wow, that is very underwhelming. I don't understand what the big deal is. He's not even moving. Is he alive? I can't tell. So now I'm intrigued because I saw nothing on the internet. I saw nothing in the videos that piqued my interest. Like CrossFit, obviously you see the big, the games athletes and all these phenomenal athletes, and you're like, wow, that's a big deal. Lagree, however, you see this slow-moving turtle guy, and you're like, he looks really strong, but he's not doing anything. I don't get it. And then that's where it comes from. You can't really explain it. You can't really see it. You have to feel it. And once you feel it, you're in. I mean, if you have a body, you will feel it, and you'll be in.
Definitely. What's something you've been working on professionally, personally, physically, or something that you're excited about?
I don't know what I don't know yet. So I'm constantly trying to find new things to learn and incorporate into my teaching. I feel like a good coach or somebody that cares about people in general doesn't stop learning. So I'm excited to learn more. I'm excited to learn more about what I don't know. I am a class and certification junkie. If I can take more classes, if I can get more CEs, if I can get more, I will keep absorbing that. Meeting people, making connections, and learning more about things that I don't know about. That's always been my number one thing. And I'm always excited to be around new people. It's probably why I bounce from gym to gym and studio to studio. Obviously, I'm super shy. So, talking to people is really difficult for me. I thrive on that. That's my jam. If I can go to a new gym and meet some new faces and find out, so what do you do? So what are you into? Really? Okay, now add that to the list. All right. And then be able to take more of that knowledge to my friends, family, clients, just constantly making myself a better human. Love it. Love that. There's so much available, too. It makes it even better.
And what do you want to leave the listeners with?
Find your best fitness. That's my thing. Find what makes you happy. Find what makes you better. Just go out and explore. Find it. Stay with it. Don't listen to any negative things. Stay happy. Have fun and play.
I love it.
Very good. Well, we really appreciate you being on the show. Thank you for your time. We've really enjoyed it.
This was really fun. Thanks, guys.
We'd like to thank you for listening to La Vida Las Vegas podcast. We hope you enjoyed the time with our guests as much as we did. It would help us out so much if you could share, subscribe, or review our podcast or any combination of the three. Thanks again, and remember to take care of yourself.